All right, so a lazy name asks, how long have you been showcasting?
Go ahead. Why
Now,
don't you
my
start answering
story's
it?
yeah, my story's a little different from Jake's. I've been streaming for a long time. I started streaming back in February, and I played a lot of solo queue and built up a good amount of followers. And we had every day there was the same people that came in, and we had a blast every day. Then I stopped for a bit and signed up for the One Shot GG tournament. I'd been on their site for a while, quite active on it, and I signed up for the tournament and I participated in it. And Jake over here was casting it. He was the solo showcaster. Now, after the tournament, I came in second place. I started talking to him just in the chat afterwards, and I said, "Oh, how would you feel about having a dual caster?" And he says, "You know what? Message me, and we'll talk about it. We'll see. We'll just have a test run." And so I got on Skype with him. We casted a couple of games together, and he said, "You know what? I feel you could do this job well." And then we just started doing this every Sunday and Monday, and at other times, and I'll be in the next One Shot GG tournament casting alongside him as well. So as far as how long I've been showcasting, what's this been like? 3 weeks?
It's been about
Maybe
three
a month?
weeks since because the next tournament is in a week. Is
Yeah.
this
Oh,
coming
yeah. So
weekend?
yeah, it's been
So it's
three
been
weeks.
about 3 weeks, give or take a little bit, because we kind of started just after the last tournament ended. So I've been playing. I'm going to keep track of your guys' question, at least on my stream, at the same time as I answer some of them. I started shoutcasting forever ago. I started streaming last fall, I believe, but I had a really terrible computer, and it wasn't until this year when I also got the internet to be able to do it, which kind of ties in as I finish answering this question to this next question as well. Is I really got tired of just playing League of Legends. There's so many players out there. I started watching the LCS Summer Split and all of those things, and everyone watches, the World's Championships at the end of the year. And I was like, how cool would it be to have somebody shoutcast that for me? How awesome would it be to hear that in the background as I'm playing a game? That would be amazing. Well, I can't get somebody else to do that for me, but I can bring that to other people. I want to do that for other people. So I started streaming shoutcasting games, and it started off very, very slowly. I had like
Hmm.
3 viewers, and it took hours to be able to get a full team of 10. I more often than not ended up just running through customs, trying to find a customs full team of 10 people, and begging them, literally in the chat, begging them, please don't kick me. Let me spectate this game. I want to shoutcast. And they're like, I'm shoutcasting.
Hmm.
And now from there, slowly but surely, it built up that I had enough people coming often enough, I could get together a team. Enough teams that I had my own tournament run. It was called the one and only Wraith Cup tournament of 2014, and it was amazing. Started off great, played through it, absolutely loved it. You can check out my YouTube page for that. On top of that, I got to shorten this up a little bit. Then went over to, I ended up at Dragon Con 2014 this year, ended up Dragon Con, and pretty much just walked in and said, hey, do you guys need a shoutcaster? Because I do shoutcasting. And they're like, heck yeah, let's do that. So I started shoutcasting there as well. Shoutcasted that tournament. Then did more shoutcasting. The hero, the administrator for One Shot GG, randomly found me on on Twitch and just sent me a message and said, hey, come join One Shot GG. And that was it. And I was like, okay, well,
Yep.
I'll join One Shot GG, see what they're about. Oh, they're having a league tournament too. Well, let me shoutcast that. So I got in with them as well. They graciously let me shoutcast, and they said I did an amazing job. So I've shoutcasted over like 50-something games, and it was amazing, or it's been an amazing journey so far. You can actually go all the way back to the very first games I ever shoutcasted on YouTube and watch those and see how far I've come. But ever since I got Chrono on here as well. He has done miles and miles to help the shoutcasting. Not only give me a little bit of a voice break, but on top of that, and this goes into the second question, he has been playing League of Legends since the alpha beta, pretty much. He has been playing League since forever. I started about season 1, and I don't play very often, or didn't that back then. Now I play it a little bit more regularly, so my knowledge is not as extensive as his is, and he was always on spot with the champion names, and does an amazing, amazing job with that. So that's why I needed him to come in and kind of fill in where I didn't have it. And he has just been playing League since forever. And I don't know, huge props to Chrono filling up some big, big boots that needed to be filled to match me. And I think he's done an excellent, excellent job. So again, if you like my stream, still, if you have not followed him, go check him out. His stream is just amazing.
Oh, thanks a lot for the kind words. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm feeling I'm doing an okay job, but I still tremble over my words a little bit. I need to get into the showcasting mode, and just with more and more practice, even with this tournament coming up, I think I can make it there. I've had a lot of fun streaming, but I'm having even more fun showcasting. So, well, let's move on to the next question. Chrono, what is your favorite sports?
Oh, but there's actually a
Uh,
question before
oh,
that.
was
I
there?
think there was one. You cannot have an AMA without this question: tits or ass, which is fair. It's fair. Now, honestly, I am actually neither. But if I had to pick one, it would definitely be tits. I mean, you could even have a fat ass or a small ass. I don't really care. But tits are good. However, I don't think it's a question of how large or how small. It's do you have them? If you have them,
Yep.
you're attractive.
You're
Straight
okay
up.
by me.
Straight up.
Uh-huh.
Straight up. I mean, to be fair, I'm gonna say this really quietly. My wife
Can
likes a
they fit
cat.
in my palms? If
There
so,
you
we are good to
go.
go.
There you go. If it is, it's true. So,
All right.
favorite
Next, we'll go to
sport.
the next one. Chrono, what is your favorite sports? I don't watch many sports. I'm in Canadian, but I'm not interested in hockey whatsoever.
What? Hockey's
I know, it's so
amazing.
weird. And I don't pour maple syrup on my cereal either. I don't live in an igloo. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I do
You're
watch a
not
lot of
Canadian,
esports,
obviously.
though. As far as League of Legends goes, I watch a lot of StarCraft tournaments as well. Hearthstone, things like that. I know it's just a card game, but I still have a lot of fun watching those. But yeah, all the esports, I am all over those. I follow all of them. But as far as actual sports go, I could not tell you a single thing about football. American football, soccer, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. American football or soccer,
Yeah,
whichever
it's
one.
it's none of those sports means anything to me. So
For me, oh, go
I
ahead.
play chess very well, if you count that.
For me, back in the day, I loved baseball. I watched baseball
Hmm.
far too much. My whole family was into baseball so much. Absolutely loved watching it. Braves baseball all the way. Woo, go Georgia team. However, as the years went on, a lot of the players that I got to know really well started leaving. They traded out so many players. The entire team became so different, and I just didn't have the time commitment to be able to watch baseball as much. So it kind of dropped off. Now I'll catch the random sport game every now and then. Like I still kind of enjoy watching football. I'll kind of stare at it if it's on a TV at a venue or a restaurant, and I'll check it out. But nothing too crazy. I'm just not that crazy into the sports scene. Now I love watching Worlds League of Legends. I wish they hadn't played it every single day at 4 a.m. Come on, some of us have work.
That's right.
Thank you. We have a living that we have to keep. But I did catch the games when I could, as well as I watched almost religiously the LCS Summer Split for NA, and it was great. Now, I do, kind of in the same way that you said, Chrono, about StarCraft. I love watching
Hmm.
StarCraft games. Throwing it out here, I know nothing about StarCraft. Almost nothing. The grand total of games that I've played was 3 years ago. I got a beta onto the StarCraft when it like first came out, and I played through
Yep.
like the first three missions, and that was it. That was like all the time that I had, and that was the end of it. I couldn't play any more StarCraft, so I called it quits. This year, I re-downloaded it because it's free again, at least certain parts of it, some things about it,
Hmm.
and I played through again those first three missions. So I know how to move people, and I know there's the Marines versus the Zerg, and I know Zord or Voidlings. I know Voidlings and Baelings. I love Baelings, but that's
Zerglings,
about
but
it. Oh,
yes.
Zerglings. Okay, that
Voidlings
sounds
are
nice and weird.
Malzahars, but you
So
know, let's try to keep these companies apart.
yeah, sorry. But anyway, so that's about the limited knowledge. But at the same time, I love watching the efficiency of the players play StarCraft.
Hmm.
And now I'm kind of getting into the mood of watching Smite games and Dota games as well. I've started picking up a couple streams to watch every now and then to try to get in the mode of Dota because eventually I'd like to break this stream out to not only just shoutcasting League of Legends, but also shoutcasting things like StarCraft and Dota and Smite, other game options out there. So eventually we'll get there, but I have to learn those games first, and I'm still learning a lot about League of Legends, so that means I have so much to learn about those other games as
I
well.
have tried watching
One day we'll
Dota
get there.
games so many times, but I just can't understand them. And the problem is that it's so similar to League that I start comparing it to it, and then everything just seems off. I have to think of it as a completely different game, which I can't get in my mind. I just try to watch it, and then I get confused because I don't understand everything, and then I get mad, and then I just quit. And the cycle happens over and over again. I try to watch it, but I don't understand, and then I get mad.
Okay, so next question, and this is a little bit out there for the moderator, so I'm going to out there. Who
Hmm.
is your favorite moderator?
I'm well. The one I give number one to. He's not even around right now, but his name is Card52. I met him at a convention once when I was cosplayed up. For anyone who doesn't know, I am a Twisted Fate cosplayer.
TF
I've got my
cosplay.
I've got my hat here.
Man, you make me feel like I should go get my Rengar headpiece.
It was actually signed by TSM's Wild Turtle as well. So
What?
yeah,
What? Dude, your legitness just went up 100%. What the heck? That's amazing. I never
so
knew
yeah, that's
that.
pretty cool.
Hey,
It's a little
AMA
too
right
big for
there.
my head, or it's a
Let's
little too small for my head with my headset on, but I can balance it up here. But I met him at a convention, and he started talking to me about streaming. When I started off streaming, I had like one or two viewers every stream, but he was always there. He was talking about it the whole time, giving me suggestions. He's like, "Hey, you should set this up, or you should do this instead, or what about this for your overlay?" He's been there every single time, and I don't know. He's just always been there, always giving good advice, being very kind and helpful and welcoming to everyone in the chat. Card 52, you're not here, but this goes out to you.
All right, so for me, I'm throwing it out there. He's not my favorite moderator, but he was the man who got me started, was a Mr. Crip. He was a random nobody who came onto my channel and was so helpful in getting me started, had so many huge tips and hints and just suggestions, and was always 100% supportive. He was the one who said at the very beginning, when I had that like 10 followers who were just all my random friends that just was like, "Oh, you're streaming, or here's the follow. I'm never going to get on your stream, man." He was one of those people that was like, "This stream will get big. I believe it one day." So a huge shout out there for Mr. Crip. I know you're not rarely on, but just throwing that out there. Love you. Thank you for helping me start. But I do have to say that I think my favorite moderator is going over to Snowy Devil. Now, Snowy Devil, myself, this is a history has gone back and forth.
He's my
so
favorite
much.
donator, I'll tell you that.
Hey, favorite donator. No, I still donated more than you. He was just the first donator. But no, Snowy Devil has recently been a huge help. He's been on my stream consistently. There was a time I would have labeled him as a stalker because he leaves his computer up 24/7 and he leaves my stream up 24/7. Basically, that means I can't ever get away with streaming ever without him hopping on and being like, "Oh, what's up? How you doing, man? What's going on?" You know, and I'm like, "Snowy, leave me alone." No, but he has been also extremely helpful, giving suggestions, giving hints. He taught me a lot about using Nightbot and a lot of those other bot programs to help in the chat. So huge thank you to Snowy Devil for everything. He's on my stream every single time, like all the freaking time, and he's in so many different games. But he's also graciously stepping aside now and letting other people take their spot. So he's just been huge in every way, always been helpful. So we're gonna move on, because we got a lot of questions still to get through. What do you think of the current state of the NA LCS teams? Where are they at? What do you think about them? And on top of that, go ahead and answer as well. What is your favorite LCS team?
I'm not entirely sure. As far as was it just NALCS?
The current state of NA
Oh,
LCS teams,
okay.
and what is your favorite LCS team? I think the favorite LCS team is for anything overall. So what is
Okay.
the state of the NA teams, and then overall in the LCS, what is your favorite team?
Okay, so as far as the NALCS goes, I'm not sure how much I can talk about because there's so many roster swaps going on. People are being swapped out here and there. Rules are changing. People are like finding exploits to the rules. I know TSM's been like kicking people off and bringing them back just so they can have a certain amount of like foreigners or I don't know what
Weird.
the deal is, but there's a lot going on and everything's just changing so much, and I don't know how big I am because you get attached to the players, you get attached to the teams, and then when they get swapped out and the rosters change, you just kind of lose your attachment to it. Which is why my favorite team is probably Cloud9, not because of their playstyle or anything. Well, that's really good. They're a very, very strong team, probably one of the strongest teams in North America. But because they are all sticking together, they are a team. They're not there. They're there to help each other out, to make it to the top as one unit. They are not swapping out. They are together. They are strong, and I hope to see them in the finals next year.
My thoughts on the LCS teams, I love their general play style. They play solidly. They play experienced because more often than not, even if they're trading players, they usually have so many games underneath their belt. They play solidly when it comes to like team fights. We see so many times, especially once they hit those worlds, that they do really poorly in the beginning stages when they're in the laning phase, and these Chinese teams and these Korean teams just crush them in the laning phase. But then when it comes to the actual team fights, usually they start to come back. They have a little bit better of that overall total gameplay, just knowledge, they're just a hair better. However, they've already been crushed so much by the Chinese teams, they end
Yeah.
up not being able to finish off the game. And in the end, the Chinese teams complete it out. The other thing about the NALCS teams is that they play solid games, but they don't play very risky games. They play a little bit too safe sometimes. They end up trying to get all of the towers slowly but surely, grab the towers here, eventually get all the way to the inhibitor towers, grab those as well, grab an inhibitor, and eventually get for the win, which works against other NA teams because that's such the mindset when you're solo queue gaming. That's what NA people are used to, is these solo queue games where you get small advantages and slowly build that up to being able to win the game. But instead, these Chinese teams are one of those teams that won team fight, and they're like, hey, let's knock 3 towers and an inhibitor down in one go and grab the dragon before we go back. They're so focused on jumping those leads that they'll push through 2 towers, an inhibitor, and the Nexus turrets, and be pushing on your Nexus before you know it because they're so aggressive. Hey, we're all at 200 health, but if we get your Nexus down and win the game, we don't care. And that's the big plays, the scary plays, the game-deciding plays that the NA teams aren't quite comfortable with making yet, and that's why more often than not, they don't get very far in Worlds. For favorite LCS team, though, par none, I love OMG. I love Royal Club Gaming. I mean, they made it second place this year. That's fantastic. But above all, my favorite team is TSM, simply because they are hilarious to watch.
Yeah.
They play the game to have fun. And they don't give a crap what everybody else says. They were in their potential for first place, I think, last year. Maybe it was in first place, maybe in third place last year in the summer split. And they had Dyrus go Teemo top lane. I mean, you don't pick a Teemo in a summer split championship game. And they did anyway, because he's a crowd favorite, because he's fun, he's different, let's do it. They lost the game, but they've got so many smiles on their faces, even when they lose. They play the game to have fun, and every single time they're humbly grateful to be able to even play the game at all in the championship games. They do a lot of trading, so a lot of the team has changed up a lot now, but at the same time, that funness comes out in their gameplay so much. Gotta love it. Bjergsen fan all the way, all the way. So next question on the thing is, do you think Team Dignitas can recover from losing I'm a Cutie Pie, which is huge, because everyone knows I'm a Cutie Pie. What the heck?
That's right. He is gone, and he was very, very strong. Has Skara gone as well, or? I'm not sure
Scar
what
went
his...
a while ago. Scar, I didn't see Scar there this year. I think he's actually more of a coach now than he is a player. He's not part of the team anymore. I think Dyrus was the last person who was a player, and he may have gotten traded out recently after the changes.
Either way, I'd have to take a look at his replacement, because right now I don't know anything about who's replacing him. So that just comes down to...
Scar left Dignitas, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I don't have all that much to say. I don't know much about Dignitas myself. I know the individual players because I watch their streams quite often. Like, I'm a cute I'll pop in on his stream and watch how he plays and see where he is sitting in Challenger, and that's great. And I'll watch his LCS games. But
yeah,
as far as
coach now, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that now.
Get wrecked, son. Adding that in there. I watched Dignitas a little bit last year. I actually focused more on them season 3 than I did this year, so I don't know a whole lot about them this year. However, losing I'm a Cutie Pie is a huge thing because I'm a Cutie Pie played to how Dignitas played, which, if you think about it, was actually very similar to those Korean Chinese teams. That's why they made it to Worlds last year, was the fact that they played so unbelievably aggressive. I remember a game, I can't remember who it was against or why, but they ended up going 4 to 5 man top lane, like 8 minutes into the game, and pushed all the way up to the inhibitors. And no one had ever seen an inhibitor go down so fast in a Worlds game. And they did that because they played retardedly aggressive. They played a lot of the sustained champions that could hang out for a while, and they every single time that their enemy team tried to back, they pushed in and got something else, another objective as well. And I'm a Cutie Pie was that. So if they lost that, because he played like Tristana, he played very aggressive Caitlyn, he played very aggressive champions overall. So If losing I'm a Cutie Pie means that they lose that aggressive edge that they have, which is one of the reasons why they make it to Worlds every year, that will be huge for them. But if the replacement that they get for I'm a Cutie Pie is just as aggressive, if not more, and is eager to lead the charge on the squishy ADC, but still get a quadra kill, then they will be fine. So it's not as much about losing I'm a Cutie Pie as it is about can the replacement fill the shoes of I'm a Cutie Pie, and that is completely up to whoever it is that ended up doing that replacing. So we'll see. We'll see.
You
Lucky
phrased
Fighter
it much
13,
better than I could
thank you
have.
very much. Good night to you. Glad you could play in some of the games tonight. Sorry that that third game, I know that a couple people are probably getting out of that last game, if they even made it through the whole game. But unfortunately, Riot locked up so much we couldn't watch it. But we are doing an AMA now, and we're going on to this next question. What is your background?
My background, like just as far as nationality goes,
I guess.
it's
Home
well.
background. Just generally give us a
All
little
right,
bit about your
okay.
background. Tell
So
us a little bit about yourself. Why not?
I am probably the most Canadian guy you can get. Not in terms of stereotypes, but in terms of like Canadian foundation. Because I am part English. I have a lot of well, my whole mom's side is English, and then I am part Native as well. So, like my great grandfather was a Native, and then my grandfather's half Native. So I'm like an eighth or something. So English and Native together makes like the perfect Canadian. So
But there's
I'll
no French. You can't be Canadian without being part French. You can't. Come on. Come on.
Quebec doesn't even want to be part of Canada. So
It's true. It's very true. Anything else about it?
I don't know. I'm just happy being me right here. I'm just, those people
Okay.
there.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself as we get into these next couple of questions, especially with
I
the
don't
last
have
one being
crazy
directly
stories about
towards
that.
me. I'm one of 6 children, so I have a lot of siblings. I actually ended up having
Okay.
4
I can talk about
brothers
that.
and 1 sister. The sister, yes, she's the only female, out of all of the siblings, but she's the oldest, so she ruled with an iron whip. Yeah, try to make sense of that. It works. It just happened. But I was actually homeschooled all the way up into my high school career, and I started out being a junior, sophomore in high school. I took 2 years in college, and I started out looking for a degree in acting, and then decided to change it for a degree in acting or directing stage, and then I changed it to directing film, because as an actor, so often than not, I ended up trying to tell other actors how to do their job, and I was like, come on, you could do this so much better if you did it this way. That I was like, maybe I should just look at directing and helping people, figure that out. And then I ended up being so limited on stage. I wanted racing, I wanted explosions, I wanted
Hmm.
fire, and you can't get that on stage. So I ended up looking at filming or doing directing film. Right now I work as a prototyper, prototyping BA toys for Marvel, DC, pretty much walking to Toys R Us, and about 90% of the toys in Toys R Us that are DC, Marvel, Disney, my company, the company that I work for, has prototyped and created the original of. We do it
Huh.
for so many shows. We get to know pretty much everything about any new show that DC, Marvel, or Disney is coming out with. I could tell you things right now that would get me fired, and I'm not, because I like my job and it pays the bills. But I still do a little bit of filming on the side. But what I realized is that it's such a time commitment that instead I can do this and a little bit of film on the side, and this is entertaining and acting and kind of a little bit of directing, a little bit if you think about it, the directing of all of what's going on, and it's just a lot of fun. This is just so much fun. That's when I got into shoutcasting. And then this next question is just directed at me. Timo hat I actually got from a friend of mine who just gave it to me, but there's many places online that you can actually shop for it yourself. All you have to do is Google League of Legends Timo hat. And there's a number of different places that you can buy
Oh
it
yeah.
online, and it'll ship directly to you, and you could be just as awesome as us.
I've been interested in filmmaking for quite a long time. All throughout high school, I was making my own personal films, working with special effects, even getting into 3D modeling. Like I'd be doing I'd be doing the 3D modeling, and then someone else would be designing. I can't draw. I'm bad at art, so I would create, they would design, and working with that. So I had a lot of fun with special effects, After Effects, that type of stuff. And I just made my own movies all through high school. They were all basically me giving myself superpowers and just going out demoing them, like throwing fireballs and having stuff explode. But it was really cool. And as far as my background stuff goes, I'm sorry.
This is
Sorry,
the
go on.
wifey. Wifey is beautiful. He's like, go ahead, go ahead.
It's I will just wait and just
No,
admire.
go
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 on.
ahead, Chrono. We want to hear
Okay.
about your
Okay. All
life.
right.
We want to hear about your
So
life.
as far as the rest of my background goes, I am the oldest of five siblings.
Oh,
They're all younger than me. I am 20 years old. I have graduated high school, but haven't gone on to any post-secondary yet. I plan to in the fall for computer science, and then wherever I go from there. I really quite like acting. I like being in front of the camera, on stage, in front of people, but I just don't feel that's all that reliable. Where something in computer programming or computer science can get you into so many different places. So that's where I'm headed into. But for now, we're going to be full-time streaming, so
okay, so I think we
I need
already
to get
answered the
into that
question
more.
of why we're not playing League because of the Riot servers. They broke, so instead we're doing kind of an AMA because we can't shotcast any games. But here's a good question. It's just kind of my question sort of to answer is why do you only host games on Sundays and Mondays? And that is because schedule. My work schedule is so tight that I don't have a lot of chances during the week to fill in. If you think about Sunday, I do have open because it's Sunday evening, so I have that open as well. Monday, there's really nothing going on, so I can kind of fill in and do some shoutcasting on then. Tuesday, honest to goodness, that's my date night with my wife. I don't even turn the computer on. I try to make sure that that night is spent only with the wife. Wednesday is we generally do sometimes stream shotcasting on Wednesdays, or that's my attempt trying to get to gold. That's basically our attempt to solo queue is on Wednesday nights. Thursday is D&D night because I have a lot of D&D friends that show up. Friday, Saturday, sometimes. Those are kind of coming out there a little more often. I end up usually streaming. Usually those nights, my wife is off doing acting work. She's an extra for so many different movies right now. It's ridiculous. So she's out late, and I will end up doing streaming on this. And we do also shoutcast on Saturdays when there's that one-shot GG tournament. So we kind of fill in. But
Mm.
honest to goodness, I think Chrono would shoutcast games practically every night if there was that option.
Oh yeah, I would have a lot of fun with that. The thing is, I am out of work right now. I've worked for a bit. I worked for like a solid year, but it was in fast food, and that is terrible. They're on you so hard, like you got to do this real fast right now, and that is not something that is physically possible to do that fast. So I had to give that up after quite a bit. I logged back into the client, but I think it's a little late for that one.
Yeah, Zane just updated and said the game ended. Blue team, Corky's team won. So I believe it
Hmm.
was Team Drunk did win, but that was also due to the blue team Cho'Gath actually rage quit and Riven disconnected. So
Huh.
between the DCs, everything else, 4v4 across the board, but Team Drunk still won the game. So sorry about that. Again, it's not really our fault simply because it's Riot. We would have been shoutcasting that whole game if we could. But no sweat, bro. Thank you, Zane, for understanding that. So are we going to be able to watch a game cast? Tharn, oh wait, we're jumping. We're jumping. We can't jump there. So next question is, what are your favorite champs and why?
My favorite champions. Okay. Um, I am a Lux person. Lux is probably my favorite champion in the game. I don't know why. As soon as I saw her, I thought, you know what, this is going to be my champion. I love the theme of her. Sorceress Lux was my first insta-buy skin as well, way back in Season 1. And she is my go-to champion in the mid lane. If I'm playing ranked, I jump into something I'm uncomfortable with a matchup. Lux all the way. I can play her perfectly every time. I know everything about the champion, the lore, all the special hidden stuff. For anyone who doesn't know, her full name is Luxana Crownguard. There was actually a trivia tournament at the Toronto Fan Expo where they were giving away a giant Riot statue. Like it was Tryndamere and Ryze like fighting against each other,
What?
and there was a whole bunch of trivia competitions. And they're like, "All right, who wants to be in this?" And I'm dressed up in my Twisted Fate outfit. I actually had a dual disc on as well from Yu-Gi-Oh. I thought that was a funny crossover with the costume. And I'm like jumping up, and this one guy goes up and he's like, "Yeah, my favorite champion is Lux." And they're like, "Okay, so who wants to battle him in a trivia competition about Lux?" And I am just jumping and screaming, I'm like, "I want to win that trophy! Lux is my champion!" And then they pick someone else, so you know.
Ah, you got me so excited. I was like, and they picked somebody else.
So yeah,
All right.
Lux, my champion. I like Zillion as well. I really like Zillion.
I mean, Chrono Frost. I mean, that is pretty
Yeah,
lame.
that's why Old Saint Zillion, my skin.
My favorite champion. Well, I'll go first and foremost. just because she came out and is absolutely hilarious. I love Jinx. And that's not necessarily for her game style, her play style. I don't even play her that much. But her general character of that crazy, insane bombingness, the fact that her laugh
Uh-huh.
animation goes on indefinitely, I love it. The minds behind coming up with Jinx they just get my humor and absolutely love her. If I was good with her and got ADC role, I'd play her every game regardless of win or loss. But I end up usually supporting Jinxes and letting them win. But I don't know. I love, 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 love her so much. I have to throw it out there a little bit for Lux as well, simply because of her positivity. In
Mhm.
game, when you're losing, she's like, don't give up. We can do this. How about we try this? I don't know. It's just you can't help but smile when you're playing Lux. She's so adorable. It's just amazing. Yeah, exactly. I don't even think once about blowing stuff up. Love me some Jinx. Love me some Jinx. But then favorite to play is definitely Thresh because of his kit, his hooks, his
Mhm.
CC, the get over here death sentence. Gotta love it. You'll see me more often than not when I'm solo queue. I'll end up playing Thresh. I have over, I think, 80 games played with Thresh now in ranked, which is small compared to
Yep.
some people, but big compared to me, considering I rarely get like 100 games. And that's 80 games of those 100 games that are Thresh. That's ridiculous. Love me some Thresh simply for his kit. I don't know why. He's my fave when it comes to kit, but Jinx is just awesome. Say hello to my friends of varying sizes. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And every time that I play Jinx
I'm
against the Vi, it's so great.
crazy. I
He
got a
just
doctor's note.
and then all of her like jokes is like she's talking to the shark. um,
Hey, fish bones.
Fish
Want to blow
bones.
something
That's
up?
right.
I
No, I
actually,
think we should be responsible and pay our taxes. You are the worst rocket ever.
I actually started. I dabbled in prop building for a bit because I'm a cosplayer. I like building my own costumes, and I
Yes.
started making the fish bones. I made the whole. I made the
Body
whole
part.
base of it. Yeah, I made it out of spray foam. I had the cardboard underneath, spray foam that I carved it into shape. I put it all together, and then I just stopped. I really should get into it. Did you get a follower?
Yeah, NA Bear 007 followed me. Thank you for that follow. I know we're not doing anything. We're just doing a silly MMA to kind of fill time a little bit for that game is. We're
Hmm.
kind of running a little bit tight on time, but we still have a couple questions to go, so we're going to finish those off. If you could make a theme for your own League of Legends champion, what would that theme be? Which is actually really cool. I've not heard of a question like that before.
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe someone who uses multiple elements at once, where each skill could perhaps be like fire, water, wind, earth, or something like that, and have like magic circles under their feet. I'm huge on magic circles. If someone could cast a spell and there'd be like a big circle under their feet, that would be my champion at that point.
So you're an airbender kind of guy. Avatar, yeah, it's Avatar the Airbender, right?
Yeah, the
Based on
last
that, right? Yeah,
Airbender.
yeah, all of that fire, water, air. I think it is a little bit. They have kind of Nami as a little bit of a waterbender champion, but
Hmm.
she was, I don't know, she's a little bit different.
And
So
we've got Brand. We've got
I
who would be
probably
Wind?
changed that.
Yasuo. Jana. Jana would be Wind.
John
Who's
would be
Earth?
wind. Did I not change my status? I was supposed to change the status to AMA, with us, with shoutcasters. I thought I changed it. The $10 RP we did do, but we already gave it out. That was a while ago. So I don't know why Nightbot didn't update the status. It was supposed to update. Nightbot's freaking out. Whatever. So, um, okay, if I was to make a theme for League of Legends champion, what would it be? I would love to see another technology-based champion. Jace and the changes that he has is so cool. I'm really interested in seeing someone who
Hmm.
plays a different type of jungle. There's so many varieties of jungler champions. Someone that has a bit of a gap closer, kind of like a Vi with the assault and battery, but without as much movement, where Jace kind of knocks people to the side or whatever.
Yep.
A single engage ability, but it's really one of those like all-in champions. You either have to be all in, or you have to be all out. Very technology based. Maybe somebody that has a really strong engage, but also has great far range attacks. I don't know. Think about like combining Vi, Jace, and Xerath. Combine those three champions, and that's what I would go with. The very technology-ish
Uh-huh.
based champion. I don't know. I think that would just be really cool. It'd be really
Thank you, a
interesting.
lazy name, for the follow.
Ooh,
I am getting so many followers today.
that is just awesome. Just
This
awesome.
is great.
We are not going to be casting another game tonight. we may, depending on my voice at least, it is so shot right now,
Mm-hmm.
may be casting games on Wednesday. It completely depends on how we feel, but we might have to save our strength for shoutcasting the One Shot GG tournament on Saturday and Sunday. If you haven't signed up, go sign up. You could still fill in as a sub, if not get into the actual tournament as a player on teams. Huge rewards there, 3,200 riot points and triumphant riot skin as your team wins, and your team first, second, third, or fourth place will still be picking up riot points if they win. So definitely go and check them out. Maybe Wednesday, definitely Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, for next Monday, we're going to be, once again, shoutcasting games like tonight. What is your favorite anime?
That's my favorite anime. Oh, I have a lot to choose from. I don't know. I've watched a good bit. I really like Tsubasa, Reservoir Chronicles. I know it's kind of unfinished. There was a gap in the middle, but I really like the theme of it. It reused the same characters from my favorite and first anime when I was a child. I'd get home from school and watch an anime called Card Captors every day. Card Captors Sakura is what it was called. This little magic girl with these magic cards that she'd use to, I don't know, save the world. And it reused the same characters, but it was for an older audience. I quite like that. I don't know. I've watched a lot of Naruto as well. I'm still watching that. We're like 600 episodes in or something, but that's a very generalized one.
So long.
I'm not sure what else Death Note I enjoyed. That was another one from when I was in grade 7. I think I watched that.
I kind of don't want to go
Achikochi. Oh, I tried to watch an episode of Achikochi. I almost died.
Almost died. Yes, there's a number of suggestions here from these guys. No Game, No Life, Boku no Piku. I'm going to have to say, yes, love Fairy Tail as
Fairy
well.
Tail.
Fairy Tail's
I
great.
got to episode 60 of that, and then I got busy doing other stuff. I really got to watch that again. That was fantastic, because they've got the magic circles, they've got the keys, they've got everything I like in an anime. So
My favorite anime, par none, definitely has to be My Little Pony. I'm kidding. It doesn't even count as
I was going to say,
anime.
are
It
you
doesn't
actually a
even count.
brony? Tell me about that.
I watched the first season of My Little Pony and enjoyed it a lot. I started watching the second season, and just somewhere along the line, I fell off and just stopped watching it. I still like the ponies. I mean, I'm a Fluttershy fan myself all the way, but I don't obsess over it. I would not consider myself a brony simply because I don't write pony fan fiction. I don't draw ponies. I don't really do that kind of stuff. So I don't consider myself a brony. When it comes to animes, though, definitely favorite anime would be Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell, jaw-dropping animation, style,
I haven't seen it.
sexiness. You need to watch Ghost in the Shell. It is amazing. Love me some Ghost in the Shell. But I've seen a lot of things such as Fairy Tail. One Piece is a huge thing. It hasn't been named so far. One Piece is great. I've seen pieces of Code Geass. I've not seen Angel Beats, and I've heard a number of people mention it to me and say, hey, you should check this out. I think it's up in your alley. I actually started, if you wouldn't believe it, reading the manga. A friend of mine actually ended up accidentally, she was just like, hey, getting rid of a bunch of manga here. It gave me the first 7 manga copies for Angel Beats, and I was like, oh, this is cool, I guess. So I started reading through that, but never actually got into the anime. So eventually I need to actually sit down and go beginning to end and watch a full anime. And I think that's why, another one, I cannot believe it hasn't been mentioned, but, oh my god, what is it? It just was on my tongue. Ed and Al in, Alchemy.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist, thank you. Full Metal Alchemist, seen that all the way through. Fantastic one as well.
Hold on. I actually have we're going to rotate the camera here. We've got, that light is way too bright. Can we see that
To see
poster?
his room. Yeah, I have that poster.
Yeah, but mine has been signed by Vic Mignogna, the English voice actor. I met him.
Well, ain't you special? That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. We got to see a very rare glimpse of his room. That's so rare, at least from that.
And my Metal Gear poster right beside it.
Akagame got Kill, excellent anime as well. They suggested it to me. I shall have to check that out on top of it. So OG has gotten so good now. I really need to catch up on My Little Pony. It's like 2 seasons that I've missed. So
I haven't watched any of it. I have nothing against it. I'm scared I'm going to like it, so I don't want to.
That's the problem. That's what a lot of people say. Is they're scared they're going to like it, which is hilarious. So, let's move on. What is your favorite PS3 or PS4 game?
Okay. I just talked about how I'm a Metal Gear fan, and I bought the Metal Gear Legacy Collection. It's Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, and 4 all in the same package, and those are the games from my childhood. I love them. So I'm gonna have to go with that. Metal Gear's a hard series to get into. You have to start from the beginning, and you kind of have to be a fan of it to enjoy it. And I am. So I take the series for what it's worth, and I really like it. So
To be fair, have never owned a PS3 or a PS4. It's pretty awful. It's pretty awful. I've never owned either one. So on the flip side, we're gonna go over to Xbox. Favorite Xbox game. We'll go with that. Favorite Xbox game. Even though I switched over to actually playing it on the computer, definitely would probably have to be. If we're going old school, well, no, we're actually going to go old school on this because PS3, PS4 is a little bit old, so we're going to go old school on this. Back to the old GameCube. Star Fox tore so many hours of my time away as a kid. You would not believe. I would sit in front of the GameCube and play Star Fox for eons. They would not
like the one
take
with
me
the
away from it.
dinosaurs, or
All of
which
them.
one?
All of
Okay.
them. I think we played in the
I played
second
one on the game. I'm not sure which one it was. Like Crystal was trapped in a crystal, and and you were on this planet full of dinosaurs, and there were these big golems and everything. And I
I
played
don't
through
know.
that game,
We
but
did play through that one. That was the third or fourth game, I think. But we ended up usually because I was playing with my siblings. We just played multiplayer and shot each other up all the time. But I don't know.
uh-huh.
We spent hours and hours and hours playing Star Fox. So old school Star Fox was just absolutely terrifying. Yeah, Star Fox Assault, the 4-man free for all. Getting up on this, yeah, Star Fox Assault was where it's at, and it was just. Oh, it was just so great. It's
I
so
had the
great.
biggest
So,
GameCube library of any game system. Played all the Metroid games. Super Smash Brothers. I put so many hours into that. The Pikmin games as well. What else did I play? All the Mario games, Super Mario Sunshine, and Luigi's first game, Luigi's Mansion. What else did I play on the GameCube? A lot of cool stuff. Twilight Princess, that was beautiful.
okay, running through just there's a lot of chat here really quick. We actually have another question here. Can we see eventually a Let's Play from you two? That would be interesting. That would
There
be
are so many games I need to play that I haven't.
Maybe what we should do is we should do Wednesday night is our Let's Play. We'll both record videos and we'll do a little bit of a duo Let's Play. We can't do it with League of Legends because we're so far unless you played your Smurfica, and even then you're like gold and I'm silver. But we could start a Let's Play on Wednesday nights and just upload videos of our Let's Play, and that would be kind of interesting. Is Wednesday night is our Let's Play night, and what do we think about that? Is that a possibility? Maybe. Maybe.
That's cool. And normally, Let's Plays, you play a game you haven't played before. You can both start at the same
I
time.
have so many games that I've never played, so.
Yeah, I know. So you should see my Steam library. It's insane. A game is on sale. I'm like, that game is $4.99. I might play that one day. Like, where's my wallet?
Well, unfortunately, I have a lot of games, but I've played most of them. So the Let's Plays will have to be a lot of games that I haven't played.
Yep.
But that's okay. I don't mind picking those games up if you wanted to do that. More often than not, I'd prefer to be playing a duo game where we could play together in it, kind of run through the game at the same time. But if we
Yep.
wanted to do solo games and just have our commentary in the background as things happen, that'd be really fun too. So we'll talk about that. We'll see about doing that. So, what was the other question here?
Well,
What
the
is your
Hero
favorite-
Exile wants us to twerk.
Oh,
But, go on.
that. Donation. If you donate a certain amount, and I'm not going to tell you what that certain amount is, but if you go over this certain amount, maybe I'll consider twerking. So, what is your favorite computer setup, liquid or non-liquid cooled?
Oh, computer hardware is my frontier. I have built so many computers. That is my proficiency. That is what I do. And liquid cooling is very, very nice, but it's also touchy and hard to keep up to date. I think I'm comfortable with the fans. Liquid cooling is cool if you want to show it off to people, but I think just having your ordinary fan systems they're quite quiet, and I like
They
that.
work.
Yeah, you don't need to go over the top when everything else works fine.
I would love liquid cooled because it would be really cool looking, but kind of as you pointed on, I don't have the money to
Yep.
pay for a computer that's liquid cooled. Maybe
That's the thing.
eventually I'll build
As
something
far as
really awesome,
aesthetics go, it is beautiful, but I don't really think it doesn't add all that much unless if you're like working for Disney or something and trying to render things for hours at a time on these and like working with destruction simulators and all that, and you need this high-tech equipment, then yeah, that'd be good. But for ordinary stuff, even what we do, we're streaming live games at the same time, and we're running just fine. So we don't need to go over the top for something that's
If
just
it works, don't break it.
Yep.
Well, we are kind of wrapping up on the evening, and I know it's getting a little bit later than I usually stream, but because we were doing the anime, kind of making up for the fact that we didn't shoutcast that last game, we will take one more question. I know that A Lazy wants to go ahead and recommend a couple games for us to play AMAs for. You can either do that in the chat, or you can specifically message me with them, and that'd be fantastic. But otherwise, last question of the night. If anyone wants to fill in, we're going to answer that, and then call it quits. We need to get some sleep. I'm still recovering from my cold that I had this whole weekend long. And hopefully we'll do that. Okay, last question from Cross Shift. What is the brand of computer that you have?
Oh, well, that's a tough one because I bought this computer back in 2009, and I've just upgraded every single part since. There is not a single part of this computer that there was originally. So I have like an Asus motherboard. I have a Radeon R9 280X video card, if that means anything to you.
Not me.
I have an i5 processor. That could be better. Uh, 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's as far as brand goes, I can't give you something specific because it's a huge mesh of
Last
all
question.
different things that I've upgraded over the years. It's my Franken computer, otherwise known as Compy.
Compy. Franken computer. I like it. Let's see here. Mine's a Windows. Yeah. It has a motherboard.
I bet you there's a processor inside
There
too.
might be a processor. It probably would not work if there wasn't a processor in there. That's about my knowledge of computers. Now, I've built a computer several times, but I can't tell you, like, okay, I have a Sapphire graphics card 7700, which is pretty good. I know the motherboard forever ago. I had the knowledge of what my motherboard was. It's a TR2700W processor, a thermal take though, which is really nice. I just recently upgraded to add a terabyte hard drive, which is really nice.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's a general really nice Windows computer. It's kind of a Franken computer. I built it 2 years ago, but have upgraded so many things like the graphics card, and I
Yep.
just upgraded the hard drive as well, that it's kind of becoming a Franken computer. Getting there eventually one day. So, yeah, that kind of wraps up our AMA. Thank you guys for the awesome questions tonight. And we, again, will be back Wednesday, whether we start a Let's Play series or whether we just play some League of Legends or shoutcast more games. We'll see. And then, last but not least, do come back Saturday and Sunday for the One Shot GG tournament. It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, so excited! I can't even get over it. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the two of us. So as he said, be sure to tune in this Saturday for the tournament. Be sure to follow both of our streams here. Head over to my stream at twitch.tv/chrono_frost. Toss me a follow, like our Facebook page as well, all that good stuff. Advertising out of the way. A lazy name giving me a heart. Thank you. Just petting. What's it called? Perry?
He's Perry the Pumpkin, and I love
All right,
this
Perry the
name.
Pumpkin.
He'll be back Saturday and Sunday for the One Shot GG tournament if they let me keep him. Hopefully they will because he's adorable. Oh, he's even bouncing back and forth. He's so happy. He did a little flip for you guys just before you get off. So we are going to call it a night. AZ gave us a bunch of different games to consider for the Let's Play. We'll talk about that, Chrono and I, and we'll figure it out over
Oh,
this
Crash
weekend.
Bandicoot.
Maybe we'll let you know. Maybe we'll let you know. Crash Bandicoot it's a possibility.
I am a huge diehard Crash Bandicoot. I have played all the games so many times. 100%. There's no one who knows more than me. So, but go on with what you were saying. Sorry, I fangirled a little.
No, I was just calling it quits for the night and saying
All
it's
right,
been a
so I think we're done.
fantastic night. And I will catch you all guys Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Be sure and check back. And if you haven't, last but not least, it would be awesome if you guys could give either of us, I think you're part of One Shot GG, a thumbs up on One Shot GG. It really helps the stream out as well. I don't advertise for a lot, but giving us votes on One Shot GG and donating brings in new viewership, which brings in a lot of opportunities for more giveaways, for more everything. And so the more people that come out and hang out, the more friends we have that play in the shoutcasting games, the more opportunity that we have for our streams to build and get to where we're doing it more regularly, things like that, and just improves it overall. But thank you. You guys are the core of what makes this shoutcasting experience awesome, because there's so many streams where people just sit there and play games, and instead we get to sit there and watch you play the game. And that's what makes it special, is that you're the ones who are creating the content. We simply get to enjoy it and comment on it, and that's awesome. So thank you all for a fantastic night, and we will see you Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Have a good night, everyone.